course.
You told me you were going out there to do your best.
Yeah, I told you, and I cannot judge what I did, but you can say. So what do you saw?
So what happened? What happened?
Well, you-
Why we came back empty-handed when we were going out there to bring back the World Cup for the first time since 2010?
What happened is what I and you witnessed. We went in there to do our best. We did our best, but it seems like they also know what they were doing, or seems like things were not going the way we want. But all the same, we have finished the fight. Richie did well, to me. Richie performed, but the decision was not all that great the way we want. But all the same, we just have to keep moving on, keep moving on.
Do you think Richie could have done better?
If you check Richard's standard and where he is now and what he did, to me as a trainer, I think he have done his best. If tomorrow another chance is there for him to improve upon what he did, that is where I will say, fine, we need to push more than what we did. But during the fight, I believe if you have watched Robert Easter Jnr. very well before the fight, and if you watch the fight, you will see Robert Easter was not the Robert Easter that people were expecting or thinking, because Richard was pushing him back, Richard was working, doing what you have to do. But after the fight, this is the verdict that we got.
I had the opportunity of watching Easter 3 times when he was announced as the next opponent for Richard Commey. And when Richard met him, unfortunately, judges thought otherwise from what you could expect. Would you say he has been the most toughest opponent for Richard Commey?
No at all. No at all.
How do you rate him? And you're saying that he's not the most toughest opponent for Richard Commey so far.
Yeah, if you said how do I rate him, yeah. Like I said, if you have watched him already before the fight, you will see him as a big threat to reach it. Very, very big threat to reach it. But I personally know that he will not be that threat to reach it before we all took the fight. He is very good. Talking about his previous fight, those that he have fought with, you can see he is very, very rare. I mean, he's very good. But when it came to reach it, it was a different thing altogether. The only way and the only time that people can talk much about Robert Easter is the last round. And that one, I will not hide it. In boxing, anything can happen. In boxing, one punch make a difference. This is what we have been saying all the time. But yes, Richard was not counted as a knockdown, 10-8, a rule. Richard got a punch. He came back. He finished the round. Robert Easter can win the last round. But what about the previous rounds? What about the round that Robert Easter went down or his glass touched ground and the referee counting because the gloves have touched on the canvas? So if you put all these things together, having a judge scoring 115 to 112 against Richard, who have dropped his opponent down, still having the 115, 113 against 112 against Richard, tells you, to be honest, there's something going on.
You're saying it's a raw deal. You were robbed.
Yeah, it's a rob. It was not a fair decision. It was not a fair decision. I mean, we because we are not just following Richard as Richard is our word. We're just saying it for Richard. I mean, it's so clear that the verdict was not genuine as many people will be expecting. But this is boxing.
If you were robbed, what are you doing then?
Nothing we can do just to protest, to talk about it, to get awareness, to get a chance of a rematch, to prove to them that he was not the real deal the way they were saying him.
So you're protesting it.
Yeah, that is the idea. That is the idea. As at the time we left there, and we saw meeting over it, thinking of it. Actually, we have 10 business days to protest about this fight, so we keep working on it.
I did hear you say Richard got his boxing, but one punch can make a difference from what we saw in that bout. After the bout, I read I heard some media men and some boxing professionals say some comments about Richard giving outstep shots or punches. Does that give you points during the bout?
I mean, in boxing, that is why you have to keep throwing your hands, like keep working. Don't think that all the punches that you'll be throwing will be landing. But the more you throw your punches, the better you get some scoring punches out of that. And in boxing, the verdict or the judging, every round is like your pure aggressiveness. The one with the pure aggressiveness in the ring always have advantage. Attacking, aggressive, and throw your hands prove how the round should be. So Richie can throw some punches that were not landing, but if you check the two of them, who was throwing the most punches and who was even running away or who was going back. So Richard did what he had to do, because if you have gone to someone's turf backyard to fight, you don't expect to go and do fancy boxing. You have to go in there as a warrior. You have to go in there as someone who means business, and that is what Richie went there to do.
What's next for Richard?
Like we said, we're trying to put in the protest, but secondly, Richard is not someone, or Richard's team Commey is not a team that will be sitting down to expect people to come down for them before they can work. We still have more plans for Richard, but for now we're pushing out about the protest. Then we know what to do. But we're having a nice plan that at least by December Richard have to come out. Either the rematch or whatever, Richard have to come out by December.
Would you say that you never got the support required to win this bout?
I never go what?
Support, maybe from corporate bodies, maybe from the sports ministry, or whoever give you the support.
For now, what I have to say is the fight is over. The fight is over. Whoever supported know what he did. Whoever have not supported also know what he didn't do. So what I have to think of is I have to think of Team Commey. Like I said, whoever is there, we always welcome support, any backing. In general, we're working with Bronze Boxing Gym in Ghana. We're working with Streetwise Boxing in the UK. We're trying to bring a better position, trying to bring the boys to a better level from Ghana, to make sure boxing in Ghana get to a different level. Although people have done it before us, but we can see that the standard is a little bit down. That is why we are pushing ourselves. So we are welcoming anyone who is ready to support, because as you know, we will be happy to get more support before the fight. Even if it has not happened, we're still doing it. We still have more boxers in the gym. Richard is still there. He just got his first controversial loss. He still have a long way to go. So our doors are open for anyone.
Ghanaians will be very hungry to know what next for it is coming. Because we do see, when he went out there, unfortunately, he lost to Abnormal, same thing to Joshua Closing. For about 5 years now or 6 years, we've not had a world champion. Is Richard heading there?
He asking if Richard heading there. You know it already. The way you ask him, he wants to say something to you. If Richard is one of the top-rated boxers in Ghana, even as at now, although even he have lost his fight, he's one of the top boxers. I'm from boxers now. It's just the verdict was not going right. But if a fight have take place and people from America, globally, everyone is talking about the fight and Richard and how warrior he is and his ability. I mean, in the ring, tells you we are not chasing only one title. Talking about the IBF, Richard is ranked in different sanctioning bodies. Richard can get any chance in different sanctioning body. Richard is even chasing again with the one that he just fought, believing that the decision was not that great. Richard is believing that he have a chance again. He will prove more than what he did. So Richard will still bring Ghana a world title.
What are the weaknesses of Richard that he has to work on before his next bout?
Richard for now was okay. Richard will improve upon what he have just done. Richard himself as a human being know where he is now, and he will push more than what he pushed. Thank you very much.
Always nice talking to you.
This way. Yeah.
Like I was saying, once again, welcome back to Ghana.
Thank you.
Very difficult period. We went out and unfortunately the target was not met. What actually transpired?
Well, the target was met because we feel we won the fight. Everybody done their job. Richard performed fantastically. His conditioning was exceptional, as you saw in the 12th round. And as far as we're concerned, he done his job, and we done everything to secure a victory. But unfortunately, the judges saw it differently. A split decision away from home. Yeah, I mean, it means you performed admirably. You know, so.
What was going through your mind after the judges or the announcer confirmed the results that it was going the way of Robert Easter?
Yeah, we was all devastated, heartbroken. It was one of those things that, you know, you can feel it coming, you can sense it coming, but you don't believe it until it's actually said. You know, that you lost the fight on a split decision when, you know, we in our eyes we clearly won the fight. So it's hard to take.
After that battle, when I was watching, Richard said he would go for a rematch. Is that on the cards? Are you working on getting a rematch?
Definitely. I mean, I personally don't think that Robert Easter Jr. or his people will want a rematch with Richard immediately. I personally think that maybe sometime in the future, but not now. They got beat. We won the fight, and they know that we won the fight. To go in there and risk what they've got now against someone as high class as Richard, I don't think they'd do it straight away. But we're going to push them. We're going to work for it. We're going to speak to the IBF, see if we can get it, and if not, we'll see what we can plan for Richard in the future.
Talking about planning for Richard and for the future, if Easter is not ready to give you a rematch, what will you provide for Richie as he aims to become a world champion?
Well, we'll look at where we can go. I mean, the IBF, he won't drop out the IBF rankings. He'll only need another fight to get into a mandatory position, maybe 2 fights to get into a mandatory position. So, you know, we'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at the other sanctioning bodies, see what's available. Richard's stock has risen. It was a fantastic performance. One of the fights of the year, if not the fight of the year so far. So you know, Richard's a commodity now, you know, and we would like to go back to the United States and, you know what I mean, show the US public and the world, you know what I mean, that Richard is really a world champion.
Would you say that you never got the support you require to win this battle?
From?
Maybe from corporate bodies, maybe from the country, the military, or whatever.
Listen, we as a team, we do our job. Myself, Lokko, the trainers at Bronx Boxing Gym, the trainers at Pro SW Gym in the UK, we all do our job. Sometimes you need a little bit extra behind you, or you need people to believe you. It's only now that after we've done our job and after we've had this showing, do now people believe what we're talking about in terms of investing in boxers, investing in people like Richard Commey, investing in gyms like the Bronx Boxing Gym. But we've been saying it for a period of time, and they should have believed us. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, yes, we could have had help, more help. We could have had more investment, not only on Richard, but the gym, Carl, Francis Lokko, his brother, everyone. But, you know, we're not going to cry over spilt milk. What we are going to do is move forward. What we are going to do is be a stronger unit together. What we have learned are lessons, which we will not make the same mistakes again. You know, so we're just going to move forward. If there's people out there, companies out there, ministers out there, anybody out there who wants to come on board or to see what we're doing, they know where we are. We're not going to go chasing them. We're not going to go running after them, because we're going to continue to do what we do. We got to the pinnacle of boxing. We missed out by 1 point. It's not bad. It's not bad.
You were saying that you're going to work on your mistakes. What are some of the mistakes that you made throughout this bout?
Well, just certain small details that within the camp that we could have done, had a little more time to do a little bit better. I won't say what they are because I don't want to point fingers at anybody, but there are some minor details that could have been better, and we will learn as a team from those details. You know, we know what they are. We don't have to go around shouting off to anybody what they are. We know what they are. We'll work on them.
Thank you very much.
No problem.